What is up, bros? Me, Josh here, bringing you a video on the Tier 8 German battleship, the Bismarck. I love this ship. It's amazing. There really isn't anything bad about it. People say, well, the dispersion's bad. You get over it. This thing is freaking amazing. And one word, secondaries. I love this ship. It's a blast. You guys, if you haven't played it, you need to play it. And if you guys are playing it, make sure you get the 50-point captain because it is an absolute beast and you will love it with the 15-point captain. You'll even love it with a 10-point captain as long as you have AFT. But it is another level of fun and awesome when you get that 15-point captain. So let's jump right in, guys. The Bismarck rocks 69,200 life. So the health pool is pretty healthy at tier 8. The armor, though, the armor is its own beast. It has the turtleback armor, so it's almost impossible to Citadel. Yes, that can happen. Yes, you can also, it's just like the Tirpitz. You can Citadel Tirpitz. You can Citadel Bismarck. But you don't get that consistent Citadel as if you would if you're a broadside like a NorCal or an Amagi, something like that. You can kind of be a bit more aggressive because of the strength of the armor when it comes to giving broadside. But as you can see, the superstructure is very weak, and you will take a lot of pen damage. That's kind of the downside. Also, you're very easy to set on fire, but kind of so is every ship. So the armor is good and bad. You don't take the Citadel, but you do take lots of pen damage, but you can be more aggressive, kind of showing a bit more broadside, getting those bat guns, and kind of punishing your target. Torpedo protection, 24%. Torpedoes are pretty rough. Luckily, this is the first one in the German line that has hydroacoustic and can really help you avoid those torpedoes and stay alive for even longer. So for main armament, this thing has Tirpitz guns. They're almost identical. The dispersion is kind of the downside that people get on this. It's quote-unquote German dispersion. You saw it on the Tirpitz. These ships are not snipers. They really aren't. They do really good within 15 kilometers. And this thing, of course, we'll get to it in just a second, really good even closer than that. Main armament, reload time at 26 seconds, so it's pretty quick for a battleship, honestly. 274 meters, though, for the maximum dispersion. That's kind of the downside range of 21,000. Or 21.2 kilometers. So that's pretty solid, and the fire chance of 34%. But this thing can hit like a truck. I think it's the first one that's actually relatively accurate. You do get those occasional salvos that are a bit over, a bit under, and you kind of just laugh and say, well, I'll try again in 26 seconds. But, I think this one is plenty good. I was dealing massive damage from a long ways away anyway. But really, this thing shines when it gets really close because of its secondaries. Let's just look at the firing range. 10.4 kilometers. 10.6, sorry. 10.6 kilometers every 2.9 seconds. Absolutely insane. This thing is a beast. I love it. The reason I have that is because of AFT and the upgrade, and I'll get to those in a second. But this thing is the epitome of brawler. I love it, especially with the 15-point captain that we can control click and have the manual secondaries go off. This thing is a beast. If you guys haven't tried it, you guys are missing out, and you really need to pick it up and start playing this ship with the right captain. Secondary armaments, every 2.9 seconds. It's like having a gearing on each side of your ship. You should just see this thing when it's going off. It's like fireworks. It's like the 4th of July. It's absolutely nuts. The AA on this is pretty solid. Now, it's not North Carolina level good, but it's almost 77%, almost 80 rating on it, and it hits into about 5.4 kilometers. So, you will definitely shoot down some planes with this ship and keep yourself alive a bit longer. Luckily, it's relatively maneuverable as well, so you can kind of move in and out of those torp squads. It gets set on fire relatively easy, like every ship, since it's a relatively wide ship, just like the Tirpitz. So dive bombers do punish you a bit more than it would, let's say, like the NorCal or Amagi or something like that. But the AA is actually pretty solid on this. I've noticed that throughout the whole entire line, especially the Baron at 6, the Gneisenau at tier 7. The AA on this line is absolutely solid too. Maneuverable, like I said, it's pretty maneuverable, pretty quick too at 31 knots. 850 meters for the turning circle and 12.8 for the rudder shift. And then the detectability, I do have the upgrade for it, but I don't run the commander for it. So 14.3, it's all right. You're going to be kind of on par with everybody else, so not too much to be worried about. It's not like you're a Fuso or something like that, which is spotted like basically at the start of the game. But you'll do okay, though, with being detected at that range. I don't run the 15-point captain skill. I don't feel like it's really needed. So let's dive into the upgrades. The upgrades on this, I run almost everything secondary. Auxiliary armament 1. You want to keep those secondary armaments alive, especially with AA2. So you want to keep both those, mainly the secondaries. I also took secondary battery mod 2. This gives 20% more range and negative 20% for the dispersion as well. So I think this is a must if you run the secondary build. I just think this is kind of like just the best anyway with everything else. So, I mean, you could maybe run aiming system mod 1, but you want to run the secondary build. Trust me, guys, it's awesome. So pick that one. With these ones, damage control, less fires, I think is always a plus. Steering gears, you want to avoid the torpedoes as much as possible. And then I do take the stealth. I do like this over target acquisition. So concealment system mod 1, I think is the way to go. Ammunition, this is the first one with hydroacoustic in this line. Tier 8 and up have hydroacoustic, so you do get a bit of a lead when this is active for a torpedo. So torpedo acquisition at 4.8 kilometers. So that's actually pretty solid. This really helps you avoid any destroyer torpedoes, which can be very deadly. It helps you spot out ships, especially if you're charging into smoke and let's say a DD is really low, you know he doesn't have torps, or maybe if he does have torps, you can pop this and really punish him with the secondaries and stuff. So pretty deadly. You can be really aggressive in the ship and not get punished too much. Yeah, let's dive into the captain. Now, the captain build I run with is full secondary build. Basic firing training, I think, is just a go-to for AA and secondaries. Once I get my next point, which I almost have right now, I will throw it into basic survivability. Extra marksmanship for 2, vigilance for 3. Now, I could save up my points and grab an extra heal from superintendent and the hydroacoustic, which isn't a bad idea, actually. 4, advanced firing training, I think, is a must. At this, there's nothing really else for battleships, and then this is what makes this thing. This is the power up for the Bismarck that you need to make this thing a monster. Negative 60% to maximum dispersion of shells for the secondary armament of tier 7 to 10s. This is god tier secondary right here. This is what you run on the full secondary build, and I freaking love it. You can literally drive into a battle, keep pushing up, be that lead. Throw your secondaries on the destroyer, pop your hydroacoustic so he doesn't torp you, citadel the heck out of the cruiser and the battleship off to your left, and just let your destroyers do the or let your secondaries do the work on the destroyer, or vice versa. Put your secondaries on the battleship, force his repair, set him on fire again, make him start ticking down. Use your main battery to kill the destroyer, then kill the cruiser. This is It's a monster, guys. It's a monster. The secondary is at 10.6 kilometers, shooting off at every 2.9 seconds. It's literally like a flamethrower going off on each side. It's like having a Gearing or a Benson or something crazy like that on the side of your ship. It's so much fun to play. It's such a monster, especially if you're a destroyer going against this and you get spotted and the Bismarck knows what he's doing. You're going to get absolutely punished. You're like, oh, it's not too bad, blah, blah, blah. But if he has the manual secondaries, you're going to start getting wrecked. So one thing too, a little disclaimer, it's not the best ammo to use, but in certain situations you can absolutely punish an enemy battleship. Let's say if a battleship is running away, you're most likely going to be fast, if not faster than him. So he'll stay in secondary range as well as forcing fires on him. So you can actually, in my opinion, you can actually use HE in certain situations like that HE ammo. Your secondaries are going to force them to have repairs. For how fast they shoot, you light them on fire all the time. Although it's 9%, every 2.9 seconds is freaking crazy. So let's say if somebody's staying stationary, like bow on or running away, right? Control click on them, put your secondaries on it, start lighting them up, and use HE ammo, force the fires, and just absolutely burn them down. I don't think it's a bad thing. Like I said, disclaimer, this isn't an HE battleship, but it's not that bad in certain situations. But the AP, really, this thing does not get punished like, let's say, a NorCal or a Namagi would. You can be very aggressive and you're not going to take that citadel damage. Yes, you will take that penetration damage, but you can be very aggressive, attack multiple targets at one time, 2 to 3 targets at one time, avoid torpedoes, avoid the big, massive hits that other battleships that it's here would take, like the multi-citadel, and you can be relatively aggressive. Like I said, with the hydroacoustic, you can march right into smoke, absolutely take down a destroyer, and just do a ton of freaking damage to them. So, guys, you need to play this ship. The ship is a must-play. This ship is a keeper. I think it's easily the best Tier 8 battleship in the game right now, and I'm really excited for other people to play it. So, if you guys haven't played it, start working on the line. I think the line's awesome from Tier 5 up. And if you have played it, you really need to get that 15-point captain because this thing turns into a freaking beast at a 15-point captain. So hope you guys are enjoying this ship. I know I am. I think it's averaging the highest damage, highest win percentage. I mean, it's crazy what this thing is averaging right now. It's just a beast of a ship, especially since rank season's coming up. It's going to be the go-to, I think, tier 8 battleship for the higher leagues for rank season. So it's an awesome ship, guys. You guys need to try this out. This is definitely a keeper, definitely a must play. I hope you guys really enjoy it and are enjoying it right now. So if you guys are enjoying the ship, let me know in the comments down below what you think is good and bad about it. And guys, that's my review on the Bismarck. It's awesome. I love it. I want to play it so much because it's so freaking good. It even up tiers awesomely. So that's it for me, guys. This has been me, Josh. Remember to like and subscribe, and I will catch you guys next time.